ETU wrestling fans, I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. I finally got to see Summer Madness, which took place back on July the 30th, and of course, you pretty much all know the results, but here's what I thought, and here's what I had to say. The show opened up with the bounty hunter, Brian Keith, as he took on the bulldozer, Matt Tremont, for the IWTV Championship. The two men started out going at it with a chop fest with each other. Then they were hitting Yakuza kicks on each other. They go out to the floor. Tremont gets his hands on a wrench. Tremont hit back in the ring, a Death Valley driver. Keith used three chair shots on Tremont. Then followed up with a diamond dust in the out of the corner. Tremont hits a over-the-shoulder pile driver and a power bomb and pins Brian Keith to retain the IWTV Championship. And then out comes the prize OG, Alec Price, wanting that title, but I understand he was scheduled to face, but I forgot who that man was from IWTV, saying that the match will happen August 13th at Americana. I forgot which promotion ran that show. But the next match featured Alec Price as he went one-on-one with Lee Moriarty. Moriarty worked on Price's arm in the beginning. Price eventually got the advantage. Moriarty took over and went back to work on the arm. Price came back with a super kick. Moriarty hit a lariato. Also a low back kick. Price with a half and half suplex. Hit 3 knee strikes in the corner. Went for like a shining wizard, but it was like a kick to the head. Moriarty. Well, actually, the Monster Cruel comes out and he's eyeing, and Price got distracted, and Moriarty eventually pinned Price with assistance from the ropes, and also Cruel tried to go after Matt Tremont, who was in the crowd. And then next out comes Becca, and I forgot what she was saying to the crowd, but Jimmy Lloyd comes out and they have a match. Lloyd hit a pump kick, or it's mainly known as the bro kick that Sheamus is known for. Becca hit a dive to the floor and caught Lloyd with a tornado DDT. Lloyd hit a package pile driver. Becca hit a Canadian destroyer. Lloyd hit an over-the-shoulder pile driver. Becca with a springboard lung blower, followed by a springboard cutter, and then hit a tornado DDT off the second rope and pinned Jimmy Lloyd to get the victory. Next was tag team action as Memory Museum, Joe Cruel and Abed Arones took on the Rip City Shooters, Jake Bishop and Wes Barkley. Now, I understand Above the Rest we're scheduled to face the Big City Shooters, but I think for some reason, I think they said because one of them was injured and couldn't make the show. Early on, Bishop hit Abed with a black hole slam. The Museum eventually gets the advantage. Barkley hit a springboard tornado DDT on Cruel. Bishop hit a Death Valley driver with both members of Memory Museum on his shoulders. The end came when Cruel was hit with a double choke slam, and I forgot who scored the pinfall, but the Rip City Shooters defeated Memory Museum. Next up was a no disqualification match as the Cold Hard player Danny DeMonto faced Notorious 187 Homicide. Homicide hit a suplex on a door that was set up against the ring. He was throwing chairs. DeMonto hit the catatonic. Well, that's what the commentators call the move. Homicide with an exploder suplex through the canned door. Demonto with an ace crusher. Homicide hit an ace crusher on like 6 chairs that were set up, and Homicide picked up the victory. Next up was a four-way match to turn a number one contender to the Key to the East Championship, as we saw Jay Bougie versus Jaden Newman versus PB Smooth, accompanied the ring by Faye Jackson versus Akira. Newman and Akira start the match with some mat work. Akira hit an exploder suplex on Bougie. Newman put Smooth in an octopus hold. Akira regalplexed Bougie. Bougie hit a curb stomp on Newman. Akira hit a German suplex on Bougie. Eventually, Cashflow Ken Broadway came out. He threw a chair at Akira. Smooth hit a, I forgot what the move was, but on Newman but he called it the Players Club. And then Bougie scored the pinfall. Broadway is then given the key from Bougie, and Broadway was complaining, I've been on every show from the beginning. I've been undefeated. I didn't have a match on this event. And Broadway announced that himself, Bougie, and Smooth are now known as the Killionaires Club. Next we have Brandon Kirk. He comes out and he's complaining that he didn't have a match for the show. And now came Billy Starks and they had a match. Starks had the early advantage. Kirk hit a Death Valley driver on the apron. Starks with German suplexes. Kirk hit a pile driver on the apron. Kirk hit a psycho driver on chairs that were set up, and it looked like he had Kirk had pinned Starks, but the referee was checking on her, and then Starks starts moving. Starks and Kirk shake hands. So I don't know if the match was restarted or they just had another match right then and there. Starks eventually hits a brainbuster on her knee. The swanton on the chairs that were put on Kirk. Starks eventually takes Kirk down a small package and picks up the victory. Up next was the SAT, Joel and Jose Maximo, accompanied the ring by the Spot Monkeys, and I forgot who that other gentleman that comes to the ring with them, as they challenged Dustin Waller and Kylon King, the Miracle Generation, for the IWTV Tag Team Championship. SAT had the advantage in the early going. Waller hit a standing shooting star press on Jose. Joel hit a moonsault on both of them both members of Miracle Generation. King hit the code red on, forgot which Maximo he did it to. King did a superplex onto Jose, and Waller did a splash on the top rope. But I don't know if Jose kicked out of that or the count was interrupted. Jose hit a destroyer on King. They hit the Spanish Fly on King, but King got his shoulder up. I don't think that ever happened before. Most times that's like a bona fide conclusion when the Spanish Fly is, and the person who takes the move, doesn't get up from that. Eventually, Miracle Generation did another superplex top rope splash combination, and I think that was Jose or Joel took that move, and they got the pinfall. Miracle Generation over the SAT to retain the IWTV Tag Team Championship. And then it was time for the main event, as Masha Slamovich was set to defend the Key to the East Championship against the young prodigy Marcus Mathers, but out comes the Killionaires Club. PB Smooth, Ken Broadway, and Jay Bougie, and Broadway announced he was cashing in his key right then and there, just as their match was about to start. Smooth and Bougie eventually leave the ringside area. Pretty good match these three had as they main evented this show. Broadway was double teamed by both Mathers and Slamovich initially. Broadway hits Mathers with a Mishinoko Driver. Love that move. Mathers hits Masha with a Blue Thunder Bomb, followed by a package power bomb, I guess. Masha hit a second rope destroyer on Broadway. Both Broadway and Mathers eventually pinned Masha to eliminate her from the match, which guaranteed a new Key to East champion. Broadway hit a power bomb. Mathers with a suplex and senton. Broadway hit the currency kick, which is like he's kicking a soccer ball. Then Broadway puts Mathers in the label lock. Mathers accidentally went for, I think, a cutter from a springboard cover second rope, but he accidentally bumped into referee Gina. Broadway hits a low blow. Smooth and Bougie come back out. Smooth hits a choke slam. Bougie with a curb stomp. Another referee comes out. Mathers kicked out. Broadway hit the cash explosion. I forgot what the exact proper name of that move is. Eventually Mathers bounced back from that, hit a cutter, a power bomb, and did a dive to the floor on all three Killionaire Club members. Back in the ring, hit another cutter, followed by the 450 splash from the top rope, and Mathers pins Broadway to win the match and become the new ETU Wrestling Key to the East champion. And after the match, Killionaire's Club attacked Mathers, but out come Dylan McKay and Austin Luke to the rescue. And Mathers gets the microphone and issues a challenge for the next show in September for Mathers, McKay, and Luke, collectively known as Wasted Youth, to face the Killionaires Club in a 6-man tag team match. Broadway took the microphone and announced that they accepted the challenge. Well, this may have been like one of ETU's best shows ever. Certainly their best show so far this year. ETU Wrestling returns on Saturday, September 23rd with Nostalgia Ultra, and it's a 3 p.m. start. Initially, it was going to happen at the Hart Ballroom in Newark, New Jersey, but now recently it was moved to the H2O Wrestling Center in Williamstown, or is it Williamsport, New Jersey. As mentioned, already announced, the Youth Gone Wild, Marcus Mathers, the new champion, Dylan McKay and Austin Luke take on Ken Broadway, Jay Bougie, and Pretty Boy Smooth, the Killionaires Club. Also announced for this show already is the return of John Wayne Murdoch, the debut of a tag team known as Fresh Air, and just recently announced the newly crowned IWTV champion, the prize OG, Alec Price. I sure hope to go to an ETU show again, but I'm not going to make Nostalgia Ultra on Saturday, September 23rd. Hope they do run in Ridgefield Park again when I can make the show. This definitely was pretty good, even though I wasn't there, but ETU Wrestling is definitely something, and man, what a great show this was.